But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. For by thy words they shalt be justified, and by thy words they shalt be condemned. Matthew chapter 12, verse 6, 37. You are free to say what you want, but it's going to come at a cost. The sentiment across the internet is freedom of speech under attack. Internet people, I've come to have a little rant. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I have common sense. I just want to talk my talk and stay 10 toes down when I talk my shit. But one thing about Mr. Hates, I don't talk rubbish. People, I've just been contemplating with my thoughts. Then I had a revelation, as if God himself parted the clouds and delivereth me wisdom, as if I was Moses. We are not free. We are on a tag, and our words are licensed. Free speech, people. Freedom with a price. We have the freedom of speech, but, and there's always a but. You got to read the fine print, and that's how they get you. They tell us we have free speech. The idea that our voices belong to us, that we can speak truth to power, express what we feel, and shape our own thoughts. But when I look a little bit closer, people, I start to wonder, is speech ever really free? Maybe speech was never meant to be free. Maybe free speech was a beautiful illusion, a marketing term for a product that's already being brought and resold by those in power. We don't have free speech. We have managed speech, filtered, moderated, monetized, and branded. Think about it. Every word you know, every phrase you use came through someone else's system. You learned them in schools funded by governments, shaped by curriculums, written by committees, approved by boards, filtered by ideology. You brought the book, you paid for the classes, you were taught how to speak, what's proper, what's professional, what's acceptable. Even the dictionary, that holy book of language, people, has a price tag. You buy it, or you search its corporate-owned version online. The meanings inside also chosen, defined, market-tested. There's money in your vocabulary. So when they tell you, you can say whatever you want, it's already too late. Shit. You're speaking a language you didn't create, using words you were given inside a system you didn't design. That's not free speech. That's licensed speech. You don't own it. You're renting it. What happens when your opinion costs you something real? Your job, your reputation, or your life? Oh, freedom starts to look more like a gamble than a right. You can say what you want, sure, but you better be ready to pay for it, because the moment your words cut too deep, like a sword, like Excalibur, question too much, or challenge the wrong people, the invisible hand that sells speech starts reaching for the mute button. Speech might be free in theory, but in practice it's sold, rented out to those who can afford to speak well enough to be taken seriously. The poor can shout, the powerful can publish. We call it democracy, but it often feels like an auction where truth is measured not by honesty, but by reach, by influence, by who owns the fucking microphone. We've turned communication into a marketplace. Words cost money, people. Money, money, money. Lots of money. Squidder and guap and moolah. Ideas cost degrees. Platforms cost subscriptions. Even the right to be heard costs attention. And attention has been monetized. Every thought competes in an economy where truth can't survive without sponsorship. So maybe it's time to admit the uncomfortable truth. Speech isn't free. It's brought, branded, and brokered. We don't speak freely. We speak within limits, inside a vocabulary that capitalism, education, and culture have already priced, people. And maybe that's the cruelest irony of all. The illusion that we own our voices when really they were sold to us in installments, one textbook, one algorithm, one paycheck at a time. We were born speaking someone else's language. We just learned to call it our own. Free speech. That's what I call it, people. Freedom with a price.